ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Beloveds of the Guru, you will recall that in my last post I had been discussing the composition of those four beloveds who were associated with the house of the Guru. They were Bhai Mardana ji, Baba Sundar ji, and Satta ji and Balwan ji. The position regarding the sloks of attributed to Bhai Mardana ji and the composition of Baba Sundar ji was discussed. Then I had told you about Sattaji and Balwanji, that how they had separated themselves from the Guru's house, but later on, when they realized their mistake, they again came back and begged pardon. Guru Sahib pardoned them, and then they composed a var in appreciation of Guru Sahiban and singing the praises of the Lord, with whom they had been associated by the Gurus. Before I dwell upon that var, I would like to tell you that the word var seems to have been derived from the word varna, which means to praise. Because var is the name given to a poem in which the praises of a hero are sung. There is a Punjabi idiom, var gauna, which means singing the praises. Before the advent of Guru Sahiban, there were minstrels who used to sing the praises of the heroes performing deeds of bravery in the battlefield. When Guru Sahiban started writing vars, they changed the style and the subject and introduced innovative style, which I would be mentioning here, that they, instead of praising the heroes of the battlefield or other fields, they started praising the Lord. Because the Lord was supreme. He was competent to do anything. So they considered that Lord was the only, Lord could be only be appreciated through these words. Thus, whereas the ordinary war deals with the personages in the physical battlefield, the wars in the Adi Granth deal with the battlefield in the spiritual domain, where virtue and vice, or good or bad, are at war with each other. The secular war continue praises of human beings, but the religious wars of Adi Granth contain praises of the Lord, Sadguru, and the pious people. There are 22 wars in total in Sri Guru Granth Sahib. 21 wars have been composed by Guru Sahiban, and one war is the composition of Sattaji and Balwanji, which I would be discussing afterwards. So far Guru Sahibans are concerned, we have wars of 4 Gurus. There are 3 wars of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, 4 wars of Guru Amar Das Ji, 8 wars of Guru Ram Das Ji, and 6 wars of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. All these wars can be found in different ragas. Ramkali rag is the rag where there are 3 wars. So maximum wars are there in rag Ramkali. The common feature of most of the wars is that there are pauris as well as sloks. Sometimes the sloks are composed by the composer of the pauris, and whereas in other wars, in many of the wars, we find that there are sloks by different gurus, and the main composition consisting of the pauris is the work of some other Guru Sahiban. There are 2 wars which do not have sloks. One of these wars is the war of Sattaji and Balwanji, and the other is Basant Ki war. So in these wars, there are different patterns for as measures of verses in a body. So that I will not go into those details, because my subject is to show the uniqueness the unique features of Sri Guru Granth Sahib. And so, for vaars are concerned, I have already told that the uniqueness of the vaars is that they the same deal with a different type of subject. So they were different from earlier vaars. Even afterwards, no such vaars have been written by any prophet or guru or any religious person in praise of God, which can be considered as Bani. So we should feel proud of this matter that Guru Sahib have used different forms of poetry, including the vaars, and vaars have been composed on different by using different style and on different subjects. So far, singing of pattern is concerned, so Guru Sahib knew that these vaars were being sung by various minstrels in their own style. So instead of writing ghar on these vaars, because the musical notation is mentioned, but instead of mentioning the ghar, they have used the word dhunis. And those dhunis are to be adopted for singing particular vaars where dhunis have been prescribed. There are only 9 vaars where dhunis have been mentioned, and it is stated that these dhunis were selected and mentioned by Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib later on. So, far the dhunis are concerned, dhunis mean the tunes, as the minstrels were using for different stories which they were narrating through these vaars. So those tunes can be followed in those vaars of Sri Guru Granth Sahib where they have been specifically mentioned. For example, Var Maj, the tune of Malak Murid and Chandra Shah Sohya has been mentioned. Var Asa, tune of Tunde Asraje Ki has been mentioned. Similarly, all the 9 tunes have been mentioned. These tunes relate to certain stories. For example, Malak Murid and Chandra Sohya, they were the soldiers, they were the generals of Akbar's army. And it is stated that once Malak Murid was sent on some expedition where he won, but he did not return for a long time. And then Chandrahaha, because he might be jealous of him, so he just instigated the king that Malak Murid had an intention of revolting, that is why he delayed to come back. So he was sent against him to fight. Both of them fought and both of them died in that battle. So now their story became so famous that the minstrels, the singers, were narrating the story through a ballad, that is var, to the people, and the same were getting famous. Guruji adopted this for Var March. Similarly, other stories. So I will not go into the details of those stories. The point is that the Guruji, while incorporating these vaars in Sri Guru Granth Sahib, took a lot of care that their subject should be different from the earlier ones, and it should concentrate and be in tune with the subject as enshrined in Sri Guru Granth Sahib. That is, the praises of the Lord, the praises of the holy person, that is Gurus, and the praises of the holy men who are attached with God. So Guruji also took care that the same should be put in the right musical notation, and wherever possible, the tunes of singing should also be mentioned. Because this post has become longer, so I beg pardon now to take leave, and I shall be dealing with Var of Sattaji and Barwanji in my next post. Till then, I take your leave. Kindly go on liking these posts and subscribing to our channel, Uniqueness of Sikhism. Thank you very much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.